Welcome to the SpaHive. I'm Julie Pankey, and I've teamed up with two of my business besties to flip this hive and spill the honey. We're dishing out the juiciest insights on business, life, and everything in between, with a side of sass, a sprinkle of nuttiness, and plenty of laughs. Whether you're here for spa tips or just a little life inspiration, we've got the buzz you need. So grab your favorite drink and get ready. Things are about to get sweet and sticky. Hello, and welcome back to the SpaHive Business Besties podcast. We're so excited that you've taken time out of your busy day to join us this morning as we talk about some self-care hacks. I think, we're in November. We're kind of kicking off cozy season. And let's talk about some self-care hacks that are working for us right now. Hello, MaryAnn. Good morning.
Hi, Julie. Thank you for introducing me. I think you forgot I was here for a minute. Welcome, everyone, to the MaryAnn and Julie podcast. So we're kicking off cozy season, but it can really also be called crazy season, right? All of us are about to get extremely busy. Julie just pulled a tennis ball out of her back, so that's confusing. So anyways, we're all about to get super busy, right? It's November. Happy November. We're heading into the holidays. We're heading into family time. We're heading into it all. Very busy time for business owners as well. People are buying. People are trying. So we want to talk about some self-care that we're loving right now. It always changes. Everything's in flux. Julie, I think this conversation stemmed from one of my sisters. I asked them, my loyal listeners, I asked them, what do you want us to hear? What do you want us to talk about? What do you want to hear about, sisters? And one of them said self-care hacks for busy moms. So let's expand on it. All of us are busy any season that we're in. So what are you doing right now, Julie? What are you doing that you're loving for your self-care?
Well, I am all about having some sort of a routine or ritual because I find that it makes me feel a little bit more sane, when I kind of have a plan. Whether it's, getting outside for a walk and, I love to go outside. I love to see the sunrise. Those are things that make me feel really good. But my husband for my birthday gave me an Oura Ring because I'm also all about technology and data. And I really wanted to start learning kind of biohacking, right? What's going on in my body. So I have an Oura Ring, love it. My birthday was October 3rd. So, we're only going on a month with it. It takes time, like all smart things, to learn what's normal in your body and what's not. What's your normal resting heart rate? What's your normal all out activity heart rate? What's your normal sleeping body temperature, or, how it varies through the months based on, your cycle. All the things. And so I've been mildly obsessed with the metrics, which told me that although I'm sleeping, I could have told myself this, which is one of the reasons why I wanted the ring, that I'm sleeping, I'm not restful sleeping.
Huh.
So
Well, what are you doing if
I
you're not resting?
I'm not waking up feeling rejuvenated. I've got light sleep going on, not enough REM sleep, not enough deep sleep. Um a lot of light sleeping, a lot of waking up during the night, which then um makes me not feel completely rested. So, I've used the tools, kind of see like it gives you tips. And I put a lot of my metrics into Chat GPT, which, then can
No.
dive deeper than Aura can. Although
Oh.
Aura does have an AI component as well on their app, but they dive a little bit deeper and then saying like, have you eaten a heavy meal? Is your room too hot? Is there too much light, too
Huh.
much noise? And so I keep saying, no, like I have all those things. I wear my Nod Pod sleep mask. I put on the humidifier. Um, it's not that noisy. I keep it cool. So then to dive deeper, well, I do hold my phone in my hand before I fall asleep and text or scroll or do emails. And so my AI advice was to stop doing that.
So you're
And
not using your phone before sleeping?
no, so I'm putting my phone away at like 7.
7 p.m.
Mhm.
Wow.
Because, the studies show that even in dark mode, you're still getting that blue light. And that if you wear blue light glasses, that helps. But I mean, I don't want to have to scroll my phone, at 9 to 10 at night. Gary falls asleep. I'll be on my phone because I feel like I can't fall asleep. So I need all my equipment. I got to put on my blue glasses and I do already have it in night mode. Um, so I've been putting it away and instantly the very next night, my restfulness score went from red zone to good.
Wow.
So I tested that for a few weeks. And on the nights that I didn't do it versus the nights that I did do it, I had a more restful sleep. I feel like I've been sort of sleep hacking
Yeah.
because I feel like, a huge component of our wellness is our sleep quality.
Absolutely. Yeah,
And you can
absolutely.
be sleeping, but your sleep quality be poor.
Right.
And, I should have had you look up some statistics, but um
And I didn't.
no. But when you don't have restful sleep, that increases your cortisol levels as well. I was
100%.
reading.
100%. Well, I think that in a couple weeks, we're going to talk more about the Oura Ring as well
Yes.
when we go into our holiday beauty and wellness purchases, must haves. And we'll definitely hit you guys with that before Black Friday, right? So that we can all take advantage of some deals. Why not? Times are tough out there. But I love that. I love that for you. I hate it for me because then I don't hear from you after 7 p.m. And I'm like, what's going on? Where's Julie? Why can't I send her any memes or reels? And she's not texting me back.
Right, right, right. I know, I'm sorry. Um,
Now I do
but
have a statistic.
okay.
Yeah, I have a statistic. It's a survey from Deloitte, and it says 40% of Gen Z, 40% of Gen Z, and 34% of millennials say they feel stressed or anxious all or most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that
I mean,
is a
I'm not
lot.
surprised about that, but
That is a lot.
mm-hmm. It is a lot.
That's crazy to me. So when we're talking about self-care hacks, and let's say you're a busy mom, you're a busy dog walker, you're a busy business
Mm-hmm.
owner.
Right.
I always go back to three things. Like when my world starts to get crazy and I'm like feeling like I'm at the end of my rope, right? Which, is fairly often.
Is that how
Really,
you plow through a book in 3 days?
yeah, it is. It is how that, yeah, that's part of my hacks is
I
to
yeah, and
completely dive
I
into a book
can't
for
do
3 days.
that. Yeah,
I mean, you can. You just have to ignore everything going on around you.
I'm gonna try it.
You should try it 3 days, find a book, ignore anything, and you come out and you're like, whoa, what is this world I live in? So the three things that I go
Yes,
back to all the time are, and they're like categories, right? So it's sleep, which we've been talking about,
right?
like nutrition, whatever you want to say, and movement, right?
Yep,
So it doesn't have to be like when we get crazy busy, which we're all about to be, right? In the holiday
yeah,
season, it doesn't have to be rocket science, right? So if we kind of stick with those three categories, and we work on those three things, I think that's pretty good. And the social aspect or relationship aspect, that falls forth for me. I'm
right,
like,
right,
yeah, I'll make time to see those friends or do those things like after I fill my own sleep tank, eat something that's good for my body, not just table scraps for my children, and, go for a walk. Then I'll think about hanging out with some friends.
right, right. And I mean, that's another thing, and I'll save it for our episode when we talk more about the Oura Ring, but it tracks your activity in conjunction with like how well you slept that night. You can put things in it about, your mood, right? How you're feeling. Also, to support, hormonal health and mood health.
Yeah.
So it kind of turns movement more into motivation than like a punishment.
Oh, I like that.
Because I sleep better, right, when I go outside and take a walk. And that, so they all like fall in together. I feel better. I sleep better when I eat better, or if I don't eat too close to going to bed, which I mean, we eat fairly early and I
Yeah.
try to not snack in the evening, but sometimes, I'll be hungry if I didn't eat enough protein.
Yeah.
But that works against you. What I'm reading and learning is late night snacking prevents you from true restful sleep.
I feel like you are going to be a sleep guru. I
I don't
mean,
know. Let's see. I mean,
let's see.
right now I'm still in the learning phase. So maybe by the time our next episode where we talk about gifts and etc., and I'll have spent more time with the Oura Ring so that
Right.
it's had more time to collect data on what's normal.
Yes.
But I agree, sleep, food, and movement for sure. And I think that it might be worthwhile on another episode, talking about why this season subconsciously needs to make us automatically feel anxious, because it's within our control to try to make it magical and memorable instead of um rushed and anxious.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Well, that'll be coming to an episode in the future, coming to you, listeners, to you, our friends. I would say that maybe my practice of scrolling Reddit till 10:30 at night is not good then. I feel like that goes against your Aura Ring rules.
Yes, does.
All right. I think I'm going to try to not do that for like the next 5 days. I always like to make little mini challenges for myself. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but I do. So maybe for the next 5 days, I'm going to try to not scroll Reddit till 10:30. I mean, I don't know if I can put my cell phone down at 7 because I'm barely even done with like bedtime then, but
Well, I think it says a few hours before bedtime, like at least an hour before bedtime. And I go to bed by 9:30
yeah.
typically. So that's why I put it down early because we wake up early.
Yeah.
I mean, this morning we were up at like 3:10. Um, and we did go back to sleep, but we heard noise outside, our little sensors outside were flashing. We could see them through the windows flashing.
You were under
And,
attack.
so Gary went, then of course the dogs are like, woo-hoo, we're up. Yeah, let's go. So Gary took the dogs out to check out to see. I was like, there's got to be like a deer troop out there, like dancing down our driveway. He didn't see anything, but then, it's hard to go back to sleep.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Gary defended the homestead this morning. That's good.
right. So I
Along with
think,
Bad
I
Benny
go to
and
bed
Bronx.
early because I get up early.
Yeah. Well, maybe what I can do for the next 5 days is try to put my phone down by 9.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like a good medium, right? If I put my phone down by 9, and I guess I'll have to listen, or I could read. I'll read, or I can listen to my audiobook to fall asleep,
Right.
which will be Little House on the Prairie on repeat.
I was
Because,
going to say that, but I didn't want to call you out, so I let
yep,
you do it.
yep, Little House on the Prairie on repeat as I lull myself to sleep.
I
It
mean, I will
ends.
sometimes put my Hallow app on, and they have some sleep meditations, and I mean, I fall asleep generally within a minute. It's just something about like the soothing voice. So I'm not
Yeah,
looking at the phone, right? I have
yeah.
it like on the bedside table. Also TV, it says not to watch any like super stimulating TV. Like, we're watching the Real Housewives of New Jersey flip the table. That's too stimulating for right before bedtime, especially if you're watching it on like a big TV. Um, we have a smaller TV in our room. And it said to be away, have like a certain distance away from it so that you don't get that light. So I've been only wanting to watch the garden show before I go to bed, which Gary's not always into.
I mean,
So then we have to read.
you sound like a big bucket of fun in the evening, but
So that's the time for me to read my book.
there you go. Well,
But
all
then
right.
it makes me sleepy.
Perfect. So we talked about sleep. So we talked about sleep, food, and movement. Here's a fun hack or tip or practice that I have been doing. And it's typically in the morning or sometime in the morning, let's say sometime before noon. But it is called burping the house.
Yeah, I saw that in our show notes. Tell me about this.
So essentially, you throw all the windows up and you circulate the air and you get the Nordic breeze in your house. And I love doing this. I love
So
doing
I
this.
thought you were going from room to room burping.
Ew, that's so disgusting.
I
Like
mean,
me
I don't know.
personally?
Yeah, you're
No,
like,
no.
burr,
Ew,
burr, ah. You and
that's
Kristen are
disgusting.
like,
No, that would be Penny. She likes to pretend burp. She thinks it's funny. Um, no. So what I do, I freeze out my entire family every day. And we all know I have a problem when the heat goes on because my sinuses go out of this world because it's so dry. So
yes.
not only do I not turn my heat on, but I also open up all my windows in every room and get the air circulate. It's called burping the house. If you don't like that term, which I was talking to one of my sisters and she thought it was an utterly disgusting term. We came up with letting the walls breathe. That's nice.
Yeah, that's nice. That does sound a little nicer. Is burping the house like a real term?
Yeah, it's a real term. Yeah, and it helps with your air circulation, the toxins in your air, germs, all of those things, right? And you get nice fresh air in your house. If you want to take it a step further, this is what I've read. You want to take it a step further. We all know that if you make your bed in the morning, it's great, right? Set you off to
Mm-hmm.
a good day. Well, my challenge to you is to pull back all your covers, throw your windows up in the bedrooms, and let your bed breathe for, I don't know, like a half hour, and then you make your bed. So, like in some countries like Norway and Sweden, they will take their bedding outside and they
Yeah.
put their bedding outside, like on their deck or whatever. That's not the right word. And they let all their bedding breathe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same concept, but I'm not hanging my things outside and I'm letting my bed breathe while my house is burping. It's like a productivity hack. I love it.
How long do you let your house burp?
Probably until someone tells me they're too cold and I have to shut the windows. But if it's just me, I mean, it's probably a good hour.
Yeah. You're going to do this even in the snowy winter?
Oh, for sure. I love it. I love it. And I always call it the Nordic air. And my husband is like, "What are you talking about? I'm freezing. I'm freezing." And I tell him to put on
Oh,
a sweatshirt.
you wait till Carol hears about this new hack. We're going to be bringing the Nordic air right into her bedroom.
Do you like it too? She's got a burper room.
Yep. She's got to burp her room. She's not going to like it at all. She's always cold. I think, going into the holidays, I think that's a good hack anytime. I mean, I do put my blankets outside. I mean, I don't have a clothesline or anything, but I do have a deck. And when I change my sheets, I take the blankets and I hang them over the edge of my deck and leave them out there most of the day. And then bring them back in, just to kind of air them out is really my thought
Mhm.
process. But I didn't know I was really burping them and doing something trendy.
You are.
Um, so I do like that. And I mean, I have shut the windows. But I do like to sleep with my window open a teeny tiny bit. Gary tells me it's like a refrigerator. But I just think that, it helps prevent like sickness and dryness and, having your humidifier, getting the fresh air in. So I like that hack. And I think as people, and we're going to talk about this more going into, our cozy season, but, I think people, the hacks for busy moms that were saying that, our faithful listeners want to hear about. Also, a good thing is remembering our boundaries that we've talked about before and maybe creating like a too fun rule, a rule for yourself to like limit holiday social events to two must attend things to try to respect your energy. Kind of like, I'd love to, but I'm keeping my weekend for my recovery. Can we do coffee next week instead? It doesn't have to be all like late night partying,
Right.
trying to figure out um what are the most important things that you want to do and not try to pile it on because then we kind of do it to ourselves and set ourselves up for failure to be exhausted and overwhelmed and stressed. So how can we use some of those boundary um ideas that we've talked about before going into the holiday season? And I was reading something about a micro presence. So like a 3-minute check-in with people you love rather than long, draining visits. You can do more frequent, shorter check-ins on the phone, on video chat, on messaging, on voice messages.
I love this idea. So I'm gonna try this 3-minute check-in. And I just imagine myself going to one of my sister's houses and literally like having a timer on, running into her house like a crazy person. I love it. I'm going to try it though. That sounds fun. Is everything good? Great. Hi, bye. Oh, like on my way out. And then it would be like, it would turn into like 3 hours because I have like a sprained ankle or something.
I mean, maybe it's a 10-minute.
Nope, too long. Too long. We got to stick with 3 minutes.
Listeners, we'd love for you to share your self-care hacks. How do you manage the busy holidays for your business, for your family, for your sanity? Let us know, and we'll share some of your ideas next time we're live and see if your hacks, like MaryAnn's house burping, could improve someone else's quality of life. So thanks for joining us again here today, live in the SpaHive, and we'll look forward to seeing you again here next time. Bye, MaryAnn.
Bye, Julie. I have to go burp my house.
Do you do it every day?
100%. Yeah, I do it every day.
Okay. If I've piqued your interest, even just a little bit, about the SpaHive, good news. You can learn more over at our free Facebook community. That's right. Head on over to Facebook, search SpaHive Professional Community, and join me, my SpaHive board, and over 400 other spa, hospitality, and wellness professionals there. The community is always free, chocked full of tips, tricks, and educational content to serve you. Look forward to seeing you there.